From the library.
Welcome to Wasted Potential Podcast. I am your host, Ronnie, and we are back with the podcast that rambles about movies and pop culture and military tactics, being the most knowledgeable people out there here. And I am joined with me live and in person from my favorite baby daddy in the entire world, Shane.
Yeah, live from Iran. Here we are, baby.
Yeah.
Wait, no, wrong war? Okay, sorry.
Some balls are told. Oh my God, this is going to be so dated by the time you hear this. We've already died from a nuclear fallout from there. But we are here in person, hanging out, slopping kisses, slopping spit, loving on each other very much. And I haven't... My dog just threw up all over you.
You're spitting on me, man.
That's gross. But we're live and in person here hanging out because I have a new premise to piss off Shane. And our new podcast premise for one time and one time only probably is called From the Library. And the concept is whenever we meet in person, whomever's home we are at, we're going to randomly pick a movie from our physical medium library, watch the movie together, talk about it, then talk about some behind-the-scenes stuff since physical media has behind-the-scenes stuff there. So, Shane, walking into this new premise here, you've seen the list of shit that I have that I've collected for 25 years. What are your thoughts on this list of films here?
Well, it ranges from, oh, that was good, to, well, that's truly terrifying. Why does a man have that? Like the Avengers. Ooh, Age of Ultron. What is that? Oh, God help us all. Two? Kung Fu Panda 2?
Just two.
Oh, no. Okay, well, really, you have the second Mulan?
I have the first and second Mulan.
Where did you find all this money?
Walmart bargain bins is pretty great.
Oh, God help us. Well, that's how I feel.
So what we're going to do here is, so the wheel that we have right here, we're going to spin this together, and whatever random movie is, we're going to watch it now, and then we're going to cut the audio here for a quick second, then we're going to watch them behind the scenes. I think the rationale is we're going to watch the behind-the-scenes commentary and then some featurettes going on there. And then we'll talk about it. Break it down, talk about in 3 acts, and then talk about the behind-the-scenes and see how that goes there. Any final thoughts, Shane, before we spin this?
Just spin it, man.
Okay. God help us all.
I hope it's not Kung Fu Panda 2.
I hope it's Kung Fu Panda 2.
Oh, wow.
We're going to do
Hitchcock.
We're doing Alfred Hitchcock 1954 Rear Window.
I love Suburbia.
I have that somewhere. I don't think it's on the list. I have because you bought me Heat one year for my birthday, and I've never seen Heat. I can't find it, so it sits somewhere, but it's not on my list here. But we're gonna watch this. How do you feel about that?
I'm into it.
Okay.
Should be nice.
Okay.
Need some snacky poos.
Back in a minute.
This is the scene of the crime. A crime of passion, filmed in a way you have never seen before, and as no one else would dare attempt, but the screen's master of suspense, the producer-director who shocked the world with Psycho. This is the apartment of a man named Jeffries, a news photographer whose beat used to be the world. Right now, his world has shrunk down to the size of this window. He's been watching the people across the way. Nobody seems to pull their blinds during a hot spell like this. He knows a lot about them by now. Too much, perhaps. For instance, down there on the second floor, the woman pacing about. He calls her Miss Lonely Hearts. So lonely that even death seems like a friend. These are the newlyweds on a honeymoon no one will ever forget. He calls her Miss Hearing Aid, an artist of a very odd and strange art. The songwriter who plays the same melody over and over again. A genius or insane? This is the traveling salesman and his invalid wife. Out of their arguments and nagging comes a weird kind of love. Miss Torso, the body beautiful. That is, viewed from a safe distance.
Those are just a few of my neighbors. First, I watched them just to kill time, but then I couldn't take my eyes off them, just as you won't be able to.
And you won't be able to take your eyes off the glowing beauty of Grace Kelly, who shares the heart and curiosity of James Stewart in this story of a romance shadowed by the terror of a horrifying secret.
Okay, so here we are now after we've enjoyed the last 4 hours of watching Rear Window stuff.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let us begin. So, 1954, that's a totally different year. 1954, Alfred Hitchcock got together with a bunch of other psychopaths and made Rear Window that we just got stuck watching for 2 hours there. Have you seen Rear Window before?
I have, yeah. And I've seen Disturbia.
What's Disturbia?
This is the Shia LaBeouf Rear Window. With
Yeah.
cell phones.
With cell phones, and I remember System of a Down has like the Lonely Day song. I remember that one.
Yeah. It was a better time.
And Shia LaBeouf was doing much better in his life, but
Actor Shia LaBeouf is arrested again, charged with simple battery. That's according to court records. LaBeouf's lawyer says this arrest is in relation to a brawl on Mardi Gras. Police say he hit multiple people, and witnesses say that he used homophobic slurs.
Okay, we're all set to go nowhere.
I am sentencing you to 3 months house arrest.
But I'll be honest with you, big gay people are scary to me.
What do you mean?
When I'm like standing by myself and 3 gay dudes are next to me touching my leg, I get scared.
Mm-hmm. Does that happen a lot?
No, it just happened one time.
Recently?
Well, that's why I got arrested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you were sort of being groped and surrounded.
I'm not going to say that because my lawyer said, oh, fuck, dude.
Green means you're good, you're in the safe zone. Red light flashes, you got 10 seconds to get back to green or else.
Ronnie, I got something to show you. This is reality without the TV.
But, I don't know, I'm open to whatever. If somebody's got more information on the subject, then, let me know. I know I'm fucking deep off into the Bible. I know what the Bible says.
About?
Homosexuality.
What does it say?
Nah.
Ooh, that's creepy.
What'd you see?
Red smears.
What?
I don't know.
Only in Disturbia.
Nah.
So it's a 1954 film starring Jimmy Stewart. I can't do the voice.
Jimmy Stewart.
I like how your Jimmy Stewart is a little bit of RFK Jr. and then like a little bit of like, I don't know, kind of Southern. It's kind of great. Or maybe it's Sean Connery a little bit, like the whoosh part.
What are you up to over there? A woman talking out of turn.
That does come up later. But Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly, and Jimmy Stewart is an injured like action photographer, works for like National Geographic maybe, or some other magazines where he's doing action-y things at like war-torn countries, and then apparently he gets hit by a car.
Yeah, while standing in the middle of the road doing a race. And I was like, wouldn't they just like ban him from all races? Like he's basically a streaker.
He's a hero. But he's Jimmy Stewart's wheelchair bound, so then he's stuck just staring out his window all day, spying on his neighbors. And the perfect setup for this is, what time of year is it, Shane?
It's the summer. Summertime.
So it's really hot, and then everyone like logically at the time being, because they can't afford their own little, like, what are those called, like swamp coolers, or little like window AC,
indoor cooling.
So all the windows are open. So then Jimmy's bored, can't move, can't get out of the house, so he's just gonna people watch there. And I took down a note. Do you remember all the different groups of people he sees in the window?
So there's the dancer,
We call her the torso.
So hot. Lonely redhead housewife.
Miss Lonely
Cougar.
Hearts. Yeah.
Murderer A and murderee.
The blonde and the gray husband.
The gay pianist.
Oh, yeah. The secretly
Secret gay with Hitchcock.
Good.
And the dog people. The dog people that sleep on the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Husband
There you go.
and wife. Yeah.
The only one you're missing was the newlyweds.
Oh,
the young couple.
they were kind of meh.
Well, they're always just banging, and he's mad that he's always banging.
Jesus, woman, lay off.
I have to rehydrate, though. So that's how the premise is. He's staring out all his windows, and then I broke this down into 5 nights. I think the film breaks down into 5 nights, basically. After a lot of backstory about how Jimmy doesn't want to marry Grace Kelly because we believe he might be possibly a closet homosexual. I don't know. What do you think there, Shane?
She's just got too soft. What happened? Soft hands. I need a strong set of hands.
So Jimmy Stewart's stuck, but his rich girlfriend, who always kind of just I can't tell why he's mad at her because he likes to travel, but she likes domesticated.
She doesn't want to go to Pakistan. She doesn't want to go to Pakistan.
But then, like, she's always out every night at like an art show. He's mad about that.
She's like, Jesus, woman, you just make all this money and sell these dresses, try to have sex with me. It's disgusting. I want to puke at your sight.
She's affluent and then brings him lobster dinners, like takeout lobster dinners. And he's like, I don't think I want to be tied down to you.
I told you I'm allergic to seafood. You never listen to me.
So, like, we're just like, oh, Jimmy Stewart sucks. And then another main character is the help, his personal masseuse who gives him underwear massages because he's injured. She's always massaging him to keep his muscles loose, I guess.
The worst massages on the planet. She's just rubbing hands, like no grip, no anything, just worthless. And she talks the whole time. Yeah, she's like the housekeeper in any like 50s 60s sitcom, always smart mouth and talking. There's also a detective at one point there, not James Woods. Not James Woods.
And those are kind of our main characters for the first night. But then a scream happens. And the old man with the gray hair who has this young, fit wife who's always hiding in bed, pretending to have a headache to not have sex with him, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. And then it's hard to tell at first if, like, he's abusive or she's abusive.
Bitch must die.
Bitch must die. So then he kills her. I'm assuming. We'll figure it out later. But that's the whole thing of screaming. He's walking up and down the stairs a couple times in the middle of the night.
With suitcases.
Yeah. So that's...
And he looks like fat Harold Ramis.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the initialness of watching Rear Window together?
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little distracted. But from what I did take in, no, it's good. It's setting everything up in a way. I don't really care about Jimmy Stewart. I was more interested in everyone else's lives, which I think is what you're supposed to do. You know? So it was good. I just wanted to see more of a torso. But...
Oh, the torso. So, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, for me, I was like, I'm really engrossed in it. The first part drags a little bit. The first night drags a little bit. But then it speeds up really quickly after that. But like, yeah, you get introduced to like the characters. That Jimmy doesn't want to settle because his girlfriend's way too good for him. Like, so he's like, I can't settle with you because I'm a piece of shit. So then, so it's kind of like the drama there is happening. And then the scream happens. So then Jimmy, since he's bored, is now watching the young blonde who's after a scream and then like a fight and things happening. He's now investigating into it.
Yeah, fat Harold Ramis, because she just won't have sex with him, we think kills her and then starts to do weird trips every night with the briefcase. All of his evidence is circumstantial.
Yeah.
Yet he fucking hit the board.
Yeah. He looks like slightly ethnic enough to get called on by Jimmy Stewart there. So then we see so next we go to the next night is Jimmy tells his landlord, who just goes, "Oh, you're crazy, Jimmy," and then he tells his girlfriend who's mad at him because he won't like put out for her. So then she comes back and starts making out with him once more, and then he's telling her circumstantial evidence. Their cop friend comes by and says, "You're crazy, you dame."
But your girl is so hot. How about you get with me who can walk?
Yeah. So then the guy kind of follows Jimmy Stewart's thing and kind of investigates a little bit there, but kind of blows him off and saying, "Yeah, he's just a Pollock. He hasn't done anything against the law there. Like we tapped his phone. We're watching him, but no, nothing's happening there. It's very communisty. Like they call him, right? He answers the phone, or no, it's the jewelry. The jewelry, right? The jewelry is what convinces Grace Kelly that
they're in her purse.
Yeah, and all the circumstantial evidence is Grace Kelly says a woman would never leave if she would never go on vacation without all her priceless jewelry.
My God, you're right. The way these women are with their purses, what is wrong? What happened? My Jimmy's gone.
Jimmy's gone.
He left.
Jimmy died.
Duh, all you women are the same. Of course you would all have your purses in the same spot. A hive-minded such.
You all sync together.
Jeff, aren't you going to tell him about the jewelry?
Jewelry?
He's got his wife's jewelry hidden in his clothes in the bedroom over there.
You sure it belonged to his wife?
It was in her favorite handbag. And Mr. Doyle, that can only lead to one conclusion.
Namely?
That it was not Mrs. Thorwald that left with him yesterday morning.
You figured that out, eh?
Well, it's simply that women don't leave their jewelry behind when they go on a trip.
Lars Thorwald is no more a murderer than I am.
You mean to say you can explain everything that's gone on over there and is still going on?
No, neither can you. That's a secret private world you're looking into out there. People do a lot of things in private they couldn't possibly explain in public.
Like disposing of their wives.
Get that idea out of your mind. It'll only lead in the wrong direction.
You can't ignore the wife disappearing and the trunk and the jewelry.
I checked the railroad station. He bought a ticket. 10 minutes later, he put his wife on a train. Destination, Marrittsville. The witnesses are that deep.
That might have been a woman, but it couldn't have been Mrs. Thorwald. That jewelry...
Look, Miss Fremont, that feminine intuition stuff sells magazines, but in real life, it's still a fairy tale. I don't know how many wasted years I've spent tracking down leads based on female intuition.
Then we get into night 3, where there's a laundry delivery that ties in there, and then they see that...
I don't know, wasn't it men's shirts?
Oh yeah, it was the laundry delivery. So laundry. Someone knocks on the gray man's door, and it's laundry delivery. And it's all these clothing. So it seems like he's packing up all of his stuff too, while Jimmy's watching him there. And then he finds the purse, and then he unpacks the purse and finds the jewelry. And then we just happenstance to know he's a jeweler. So now we're like, oh, maybe he's killed her for the jewels to be selling them off there.
My jewels.
And then on night 4, they ask the question, is it ethical to watch your neighbors even to prove them like right or wrong? Because they called the cops on them, and then nothing was in there at all. And then screaming dead dog. Oh, the dead dog
that's digging in the bushes.
Yeah, so then on night 4 is when the dog was digging around in the bushes where they think the main antagonist suspect was digging, so then the dog is dead, and then a scream happens, and the whole neighborhood freaks out, and they had the ethical conversation: is it good to watch neighbors, even if you prove that they're innocent there? And then they said, after all this, because the dog dies, they want justice for the dog, and they write a letter to the man, and then he gets delivered the letter because she sneaks across the way, because she's a badass like that, knocks on the door, and drops the letter, and escapes, and then from there we get to our final night.
Grace Kelly is a badass in this. She's way more than Jimmy, and he's the one being like, "You're a pussy." Also, this was the same argument used for the Patriot Act. Like, this isn't here to prove that you're all terrorists. Prove the whole that you're not. We're just gonna watch you to prove that. Look, it's just a good guy.
And they were worried back then in the 50s about just people just staring into your windows before we gave her all our rights on these cell phones we have in front of us. Okay, so night 5, the last night there, Jimmy decides he's a 14-year-old boy and does a crank phone call and tells the gray man he's gonna blackmail him, so he leaves the house so that the Grace Kelly, the badass, can sneak in to the apartment and search for the necklace or the wedding ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. And the guy's like, no! And he goes running out of the building. This guy, like, is the worst murderer because they're always like, hey, you murdered your wife. And he's like, damn it! And I'm like, no, dude, no one presented any evidence or anything. It's like a cop being like, so when did you murder her? Ah, you knew.
Yeah, the letter, all it says was, hey, Mr. So-and-so, what happened to your wife? And then it's like, they know, like just it all just unfolds. He immediately just admits to it. So then Grace Kelly sneaks in and looking for the wedding ring, and then they see that because Jimmy Stewart gets distracted by the dog or something happens. Oh, the lady with the pills. The lady's gonna kill herself.
Yeah.
One of the old Lonely Hearts ladies is gonna kill herself for which is pretty dark for the 50s, and she's gonna kill herself. So then Jimmy gets distracted by that, and then forgets Grace is in the potential murderer's apartment. He comes home. It's like,
oh, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna tell about the pills or Grace? Tells about Grace.
Tells about Grace. Good,
Yeah.
which is a better choice, honestly.
Yeah.
So then he calls, and the police are on their way, and then Thorwald's the antagonist, and he grabs Grace, turns the light off. He's like, oh no, it's gonna go full Hitchcock right now. And then instead, the police show up, and then then he acts like, oh, she broke in, and then they take her to jail, but she's safe. And then Thorwald calls him because the light got turned off, and he goes, hello, answers the phone, and says to him,
I just thought that he's like, guys, this bruised and battered blonde in my house obviously broke in, and I had to defend myself in her sundress.
Yeah.
And the cops are like, sons of bitches, these women breaking into people's houses. Get over here, you thief.
Lucky for her, they took her away to in the paddy wagon.
They all took turns beating her.
Yeah, and then one of the cops taking away, Thorwald sees the light go off because Jimmy Stewart realizes they've been caught because Grace looks out the window across to Jimmy Stewart. So then Thorwald calls and then goes and attacks Jimmy Stewart, and then Jimmy Stewart flies out the window with excellent CGI, and the cops grab Thorwald, and that is
after he assaults him with lights. Yeah, like again. God damn it, he keeps flashing me with the.
So that was instead of having guns because they weren't given money by the NRA. Jimmy Stewart is a photographer, so he uses his lens, his flash like lens flash. Words is flashing a light on his camera to blind Thorwald while he's coming in to add suspense, which is my biggest gripe about this movie is that there's no music at the end, and the last 5 minutes it's just dead quiet while it's my eyes.
God damn it.
Can you get me that ring back? No. Tell her to bring it back. I can't. The police have it by now.
But that is the whole entire plot of Rear Window. So Shane, what do you think? Being two people who've had a really long day together of drinking, what are your thoughts on Rear Window?
It's a good movie. It's a classic movie. It's silly, but dark enough from Hitchcock. And I had a lot of fun just not listening and filling in the words for everybody.
Because most of the movie is a lot of dialogue-less. It's just the camera's following all these characters, and we're reading their mouths and getting really good visual storytelling of just you get the dynamics of the characters from all the visuals, because we don't hear Thorwald until the very, very end, and you're like, oh, that's what you sound like? I thought it'd be way more like Puerto Rican.
It's the reverse nowadays, where it's the maybe a little bit minority person that's the bad guy. But no, it's a classic film, and everyone's like, maybe we shouldn't be watching everyone undress in their rooms. Maybe that isn't the right thing to do.
I hate to remind you, but this all started because you said she was murdered. Now, did anyone, including you, actually see her murdered?
What do you do? Are you interested in solving this case or in making me look foolish?
Well, it's possible, both.
Well, then do a good job of it. Go over there and search Thorwald's apartment. It must be knee-deep in evidence.
I can't do that.
Well, no, I don't mean right now, but when he goes out for a drink or a paper or something, what he doesn't know won't hurt him.
I can't do that even if he isn't there.
Does he have a courtesy card from the police department or something?
Now, don't get me mad. Not even a detective can walk into an apartment and search it. Why, if I were caught in there, they'd have my badge within 10 minutes.
All right, make sure you don't get caught, that's all. What, if you find something, you've got a murder, and they don't care anything about a couple of house rules. If you don't find anything, the fella's clear.
At the risk of sounding stuffy, I'd like to remind you of the Constitution in a phrase, search warrant, issued by a judge who knows his Bill of Rights verbatim. He must ask for evidence.
I forgot that Jimmy Stewart's in like every Hitchcock.
Yeah.
Apparently Grace Kelly too.
Yeah. And she's great, but he's not likable.
No, he's such a prick.
I haven't really seen a lot of movies from this era to judge if he's actually any good compared to the people of his era, but I don't think he's good.
God damn it, lady, get off me. I'm trying to spy on people. With your panties on and such.
The entire movie is Grace Kelly trying to get into Jimmy Stewart's pants, and he's just like, Grace, stop. Just like all the time, just like cock blocking himself because he's too afraid to tell her the truth.
Grace Kelly comes out in a lacy nightgown. He's like, get out of the way of the window. I'm trying to watch. But then the funny thing is he has this beautiful woman throwing herself at him, but he's looking at torso all the time. Like, oh, look at torso over there. And you're like, torso's right there, bro.
Yeah. And it turns out that the torso's being like oogled and ogled, and she's got guys all around her. She thinks she's kind of a slut, but no, she's not. She's waiting for her man to come home from the military.
The short little sailor.
Man. Johnny's home.
I made it. We stormed Iwo Jima.
Oh my god. Let's see what else I love. I love like the visual style. We said the depth of field. There's a lot of great things. Like it doesn't look real. It looks like it's on a soundstage, but I love there's a lot of great shots where like Jimmy Stewart's in the forefront, and then you get like the windows in the middle, and the background's a fake lot, and then even further back, like the fourth depth is like a fake sun like light going down. It's all like done. Obviously, it's all done inside of a studio in a lot, but it looks pretty great. But yeah, we just kept yelling, "Shut up, Jimmy!
Shut the fuck up!" The animal budget on this had to be a nightmare because Hitchcock had this like one cat that ran through, and I'm like, someone owns that cat. Someone got paid to have their cat just run like an asshole across the set. Find me a black cat and a dog who could sit in a basket.
Doesn't mind being poisoned.
Fun fact: we lost 17 Yorkshire Terriers because the fucking basket would tip and they'd fall 3 stories to their death. We're starting to think of the set was haunted by these terriers. We never did see the cat again either.
That's the Legend of the Black Cat on fucking Rear Window. Just like the lady who hung herself on Wizard of Oz. It's the Legend of the Black Cat.
A third of our budget went to fucking cats and hauntings of dogs. Not an actor would work until the set was saged.
So like this movie also inspired tons of like knockoffs. Like this is like I don't know, I've had to guess, maybe Psycho or this one are probably the 2 most knocked off movies of all time. Kind of people inspired by that, and like this one for sure. You mentioned Disturbia already. That's one that came out in, I think, 2009.
Yeah.
And then it also reminds me of the Fright Night, the 1980s, where like the neighborhood boy thinks his neighbor is a vampire. So that's kind of a classic one too.
I feel like there's some other like Patriot Acty ones, like War of the Worlds. Just ruined
Gotta bring it in.
First, what are the rules of engagement here?
Engagement? Mr. President, gentlemen, we're seeing a full attack on our infrastructure, on power grids, water, communication, and top-level military targets.
Oh my God. Faith can load it here and I can get it to you.
Ah.
Prime Air.
Prime Air?
Oh, it's the future of delivery. They've been training us for months. I need you to place an official order on Amazon to activate the drone.
Nuts.
Wait, Wait, give him an Amazon gift card for $1,000. Hurry!
Put her down!
And then we have... I recently, I think a year ago when Gene Hackman died, I saw The Conversation, that's all Gene Hackman does. He works for a private a surveillance company who's just basically spying on spies and people and turning things in, and he sees something and he thinks it's a big old conspiracy, like the government's covering it up like this and that. So it's like a very Hitchcockian for sure. It's one I saw a couple of years ago. It's called, I think, The Watcher, and it's the chick from, I love her. She's from It Follows. She's in all those horror movies now. Micah Monroe. She's also in Long Legs, but it's called Neighbor, but her asshole husband takes her to live in, I think, fucking Bucharest or something like that, and she doesn't speak the language, and she's just stuck at home all day, just looking out the window, and she sees someone across the way. That was a really cool kind of thriller.
Bucharest, huh? Jesus.
That's great though, but yeah, I actually really like this movie. I think I saw it in college for a film class. It's I don't watch old things. I'm oh, this is actually really good. It's good visual storytelling. I think it's got suspense. Do you think it's suspenseful for the time? Yeah,
for the time they do it. They don't really hide anything. It's you trying to prove what you already know, you know? Also, as far as watching an older movie, there wasn't a ton of things I was like, oh, this aged super well. You know, it was pretty tame for 54 in that realm. But,
well, with that though, for 54, we joke about it, but it also seems kind of likely that one of the neighbors is a pianist, and he looks upset when he's around his wife, but then the last time he's smiling is when he's playing music or around a bunch of other guys. So we're thinking maybe he's a character for Hitchcock, because the time I don't think Hitchcock was gay, but I think he was more aware of the finer things in life.
Dabbled.
But that's pretty open. And then a woman's gonna commit suicide with pills. I'm this is pretty intense for the 50s.
Naked lady.
And then naked lady. Yes, the torso. We're constantly watching this woman
dance.
It's pretty risque. How would you rate that on your boob boob scale? How many boobs would you give that?
I'll give it 3 boobs.
It's pretty good.
For the thought of what the boobs could have been.
They're very rebellious tits, honestly. Okay, so that's kind of our main synopsis there. And then our little thing, which I tortured Shane to do with, was almost 2 hours of behind the scenes footage. We watched 3 behind the scenes things. The first one was an hour long, called the original documentary.
So painful.
It was basically just interviewing people who were close to Hitchcock and filmmakers from the 90s. It looked 90s, right?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was 90s. Your favorite Peter Bogdanovich, your favorite
draft dodging son of a bitch,
your favorite director of all time,
son of a bitch.
One of the great things about Hitchcock is and most of the great directors, but Hitchcock is a notable example of a director who's always got the camera in the right place for each given moment, and it's always there for a reason. It's not there arbitrarily or just because it might be nice to shoot it from there now. And it's never decorative, and it's never just frivolous. It's always with a point and a reason. The 2 greatest schools of cinema in the silent era were the American and the German. Because he was trained by the Americans and the Germans, he understood that telling a story visually was what movies were about.
Curtis Hanson, who did L.A. Confidential and other movies, and then Shane's favorite, Hitchcock's daughter.
Oh my God, fucking Tammy or whatever the fuck her name was. Oh my God.
Explain.
So it drives me crazy when these adults who had 10-year-old children at the time that they're referring to interview their children. They knew what the fuck dad did when he went to work. Are you kidding me? My son doesn't know anything that's happening in my life, nor does he care. So if the retelling would be, he doesn't know what the fuck I'm thinking. And then all these old people, it's exactly like if you interview your grandfather for an elementary school project. Grandpa, tell me about great grandma. And he'd be like, well, she used to hang out with Billy the Zanzani. And Billy, God rest his soul, had the best curveball I ever seen in my life. And then there was Sarah Wiki. She married, so like you're supposed to know who the fuck any of these people are, and none of them have anything to do with the story. And that's the entire documentary. It's like my father wanted to hire this actress, so we went to Braziano's on 7th Street. Great meatballs. We'd order, and there was this waiter. Enrique, I want to say. Oh, he was a darling, but he always kept our drinks so fresh. And you're like, what the fuck does this have to do with making a Rear Window? And then he hired her because she was lovely. You're like,
he knew a lot about crime. He had a fascination for English crime. And in fact, one of his crime things was, and in fact, he used part of it in Rear Window, was Dr. Crippen. And this was a famous English case where he fell in love with the secretary and killed the wife and buried the wife in the backyard, and then took the secretary on a boat to get away and dressed the secretary up as a sailor. And the thing was that the captain said later on he had wondered why these two sailors were very friendly towards each other. And that's how they caught Dr. Crippen. But he loved them. He had a whole set.
No, and I don't care.
Rear Window was based on a short story entitled It Had to Be Murder, published in 1942.
Oh, somebody kill me, please! Somebody kill me, please! On my knees! Pretty, please! Kill me! I want to die!
He went on to write 4 films for my father.
So along what Shane was trying to say was it interviews Hitchcock's daughter, and she's like well into her 70s or 80s. So it's like she wasn't there, and then this has been like a long time since this is like, you know, recording there. It's 40 years ago. So it's just kind of funny hearing from her. We hear all these other people. The part I liked we were making fun of was the story with Robert Burke. Was it the writer? Oh yeah, the writer. No, the director of photography. Hitchcock wanted to get him, and he keeps talking about how like Hitchcock took him to get wined and dined. Wait, no, hold on. Was it the other guy? Which one was wine?
The writer was wined and dined.
Oh, never mind then. We're talking about like Robert Burke is a communist. I heard that down somewhere.
An economist?
As a communist.
Or a communist?
Yeah, the director of photography is a communist. Can't remember why I wrote that down. I can't remember.
Mr. Hitchcock always discussed the scene with the cameraman first, and he would tell him what lens to use and what he wanted to include in the scene.
Bob Burks was a wonderful talent and a hard-working, lovely man, and he was enjoyable to be around. He'd been with Hitch for several films, of course, and had terrific knowledge of what Hitch required, and he worked very hard, took it very seriously, sometimes too seriously. He would almost get sick over certain shots that he was trying to accomplish for Hitch, but a wonderful man and a very great talent.
The shooting in Jimmy's apartment was very difficult because it was small. It wasn't big, and Hitch never liked to use wide-angle lenses. The lens that Hitch liked to use was a 50 millimeter, and that's about what your eyes see.
It goes into detail about the lighting on the set, how it's obviously done in a soundstage, and there's 4 different kind of lightings, so it kind of keeps it interesting in every scene. And kind of the lights kind of dim and get later as they talk later into the night there. Mm-hmm. I thought it's like a very feminist kind of movie, surprising in a way, of like the lady talks back to Jimmy Stewart and says, "Why don't you fuck me?" And then and like they really judge her for wanting to spend the night at Jimmy's place.
The landlord forbids it.
Back then, I guess landlords, you had to get in triplicate, like saying, "I'm gonna have a floozy over for a night."
No hanky panky in this apartment.
It's strictly Methodist. So then,
it's like a pet's fee.
He didn't sign that for the month. So then, like his detective friend comes over, he's talking to him, and keeps staring at her, like her negligee and her nightgown, and simply saying like, floozy. And then she's like, "Come on, Jimmy," and then he keeps going, but the neighbor, and he keeps looking away, so it just kind of cracks me up the entire time. But she,
hey, the whole town already thinks you're a right whore.
But then she's also like the best character because like she gets shit done.
Yeah.
You said she's an agent of action.
Like the woman just scurries up the siding in a sundress, jumps into a window like she's Ethan Hunt. Like she's getting so sick of his shit that he won't fuck her until this crime is solved. So she's like, "My God, I'm solving this goddamn crime." And having you put a baby in me, Jimmy.
So that's what we got out of the behind-the-scenes documentary. Just basically how Hitchcock was known for horror, and he kept just kind of pushing the boundaries there, so that was always good. Next, we had
Mac came in and told me about this picture, and how was he going to do it? He had to do this whole courtyard, and we didn't have stages that high, and so I suggested to him, Paramount, wasn't a real large studio, but 2 or 3 of the stages, we stored furniture underneath. So I told Mac, I says, why don't you cut the floor out?
We're going to cut the floor out, remove everything that was in the basement, and make Jimmy Stewart's second floor room on the actual stage level. And the lawns and the first floor are going to be the basement floor.
And he said, well, they wouldn't let me do that, would they? I said, well, I bet they will for Hitchcock. And sure enough, they did. They let him.
The set went from the bottom of that basement to the grids, and that it was an enormous problem for the lighting crew, and very hot for anybody who had to work up there at the top, because we didn't have the same kind of lighting we have today. We didn't have the same film. We didn't have the same camera lenses. So all of it conspired against us. It was really an enormous task, and the people who had to work up there took a beating, and the actors took a beating up there too.
A video about the screenwriter. It's called Screenwriter Talk with I forget his fucking name.
Jimmy Stewart.
Not Jimmy Stewart. No, that's a really trailer.
Oh, no.
But the writer, like, basically, it seemed a little like old school Hollywood, where you get tapped by what's his face, Hitchcock, to come to dinner with him, and he like drank him, drank the night away, and then with the hangover, he couldn't hold his liquor, and had secret parties and rendezvous, and finally, Hitchcock was like, I want this guy to to write my next script.
You've worked hard enough.
Hitchcock's agents sent me the story, Rear Window, and I was to read it and meet Hitch for dinner on Friday. I got it on Monday late, I would say, and I was apprehensive about meeting Hitch because he was the great Alfred Hitchcock, and I didn't know what in the world he was going to ask me at this dinner. And so I virtually memorized the story of Rear Window, page by page. I think it was
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Story in a small book. And I went to dinner with him, which was awash with wine and liquor and martinis and brandy and everything else, and food, fish, steak, hors d'oeuvres. Hitch prefaced the dinner by asking me if I'd like a martini, and I said, well, I guess so. And he said, I like a man who drinks.
When I'm like standing by myself and 3 gay dudes are next to me touching my leg, I get scared.
The thing was, the whole dinner, he never mentioned Rear Window once. He never brought it up. He asked me instead if I was familiar with his pictures and to give him one in particular with which I was familiar. So I mentioned Shadow of a Doubt, not knowing that Hitch had always regarded it as his favorite picture. And the whole dinner was taken up with Shadow of a Doubt, wherein I told him the mistakes I thought he'd made in it. That was the wine and the martinis. And, of course, it almost got out of hand.
You're just boring, that's all. That's all.
Volunteered to drive him home, and shrewdly he decided to take a taxi. And I went home to my house in Encino and told my wife, well, I had a great dinner, but I'll never work for Hitchcock again. I might never work for anybody. Monday, the phone rang. The following Monday, it was a Friday when we had dinner, and I still had a hangover. I jumped 3 feet in the air, and it was Hitch's agents, Arthur Park and George Chasen and Herman Citron, who said, Hitch loved you. You start tomorrow.
That's all we gotta get out of that. And last thing we watched was a re-release trailer of 5 Hitchcock movies where Jimmy Stewart just tugs himself the entire time and says, "This is my favorite one."
I really went for it on this one. It was one of my more daring roles as the middle-aged white guy. They do the same thing like old people do. Anytime I watch an interview or like a documentary on an actor, I drink every time they reference something like I should know it.
Mm-hmm.
They be like, and at the time, you say, I was doing a little bit called Water Buffalo Diaries about a man in the Canadian wilderness that used to hunt in South Africa. Never made any money or ever was released in theaters, but it was one of my favorites. And you're like, fuck off. I don't need to hear about every goddamn school theater project you participated in because, like, that's fine, but don't act like I should fucking know it. It's so pretentious.
So Shane hates old people and people from Hollywood.
And Hollywood. Because they'll do that with people, too. They're like, my partner, who is the actor Franz Ferdinand of Burgundy. And you're like, I've never heard of that man. I've never seen him in any other film. He's wonderful. He's done a lot of off Broadway as in community projects. But wonderful actor. And you're like, shut the fuck up.
That's where Hitchcock found him. I love the soundtrack, the jazz soundtrack now. That Birdman would steal like 50 years later there. I think it's Franz Waxman, I don't know.
Sounds awful crowdy.
Dear God.
Where were you between the years of 1941 and 1945? Can I see your passport, please?
Rear window.
Jimmy breaks both his legs. Still won't fuck Grace Kelly.
No, and then she just gives up and decides to stay with him.
Everything cools down to include her.
Yeah. She learns her place. There goes feminism because we can't have her be sassy the entire time.
And the only immigrant in the neighborhood gets kicked out for murder.
Yeah.
The end.
Awful lot of honkies. I don't think so. Anyone. I think in one of the documentaries there was, I think it was one black guy. One guy that allowed. But no. Different time.
Different time. All right, well.
Back then you were most worried about communists.
Bunch of card carriers, each and one of them. That's why I wouldn't do it. I told him in the script. I said, I'm not gonna kiss a commie, all right? So you just tell her I'm not doing it. God made America, not Russia, you fucks.
So Shane, how was this gimmick idea we had of spending too much time together today and then trying to podcast about Rear Window for 4 hours? How dumb was this idea?
I like it though. There's a hint of danger. Like, oh no, this is really gonna ruin my day. Rear Window was good. I was worried that like Kung Fu Panda 2 or
Shane was really hoping for Kung Fu Panda 2 and instead we got Rear Window.
Or 4-hour Lord of the Rings.
We were begging for 4 hour Lord of the Rings because plus all the special features.
Oh my God.
Until midnight.
Well.
So we'll see if this gimmick ever comes back again.
Yeah. Danny will never. Well, it would be nice because then we know Danny actually saw it because we had to sit him down. He's like,
I slept the entire time.
How about that alien show, huh? Yeah, with the aliens from space. It's the best.
How about that Rear Window? Oh yeah, his leg's broken.
Because you can't look through it because it's broken.
It's his rear window.
And then there's aliens? Shit.
What planet is it on? Resurrection. Oh, perfect. Okay, so that was from the library. Thank you. And I don't know. We don't do social media. I don't care.
No, it's a hellhole.
But give us money.
Money. We need money. We need lots of money.
Bring us lobster.
And toast.
He eats a lot of toast. It's all they eat. They only let her eat toast.
God damn it, I said I want eggs with my toast. It's all burnt and shit.
God, I hate Jimmy Stewart so much in this.
If you can't cook sausage with me, what makes you think you deserve it?
And we're done.
Not as fun with
How about now?
Hello.
When there's less of a piano with it.
Oh my god.
I guess you talk louder than usual, so like this.
Half a pound of Reese's.
Talk louder.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably where I need to be, huh?
Yep. Let's do an intro, so it'll be like us just kind of talking, whispering to each other. Then you'll say in the library. No, you'll say in the library. No, from the library, and then whisper. And then we'll say shh. I'll be our intro.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I'm talking like this. Talking like this, and whispering in the library.
Then that person went to that person.
You say the person. Now you say the thing. Now you say the thing.
From the library.
Try one more time. Do it again. I'm talking like this and listen. Like,
from the library.
Shh.
It's from your library.
And that's the one we take.